Yeah, there's no fucking salt.
That's retarded.
And instead of with strawberry essence, you do cigarette smoke.
Quality tobacco?
No, I'm talking about Marlboro Red.
Because I had 10 years in the military, it doesn't change anything. It's all a piece of shit. I'm still working on the line.
Me being f***ed up on the line and kind of normalizing that culture has led to having a pretty severe drinking problem. Where I'm like, listen, I used to fucking run this kitchen and make specials and bartend for $20 for the day. And they'll laugh at me that's not true, Uncle Greg. Yeah, dude.
Hi guys, and welcome to More Salt. Today I am joined by my good friend, Chef Joe, and a friend that I have not seen in a very long time.
Same, actually.
Mr. Greg Witwer. You've been chefing for a while now. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Just busy working,
Yeah? Doing the baking thing now, huh?
Well, I work at a place that does most of that, but
yeah.
I'm kind of running the savory part that is brunch.
Okay.
And we do a kind of a nighttime menu as well at one of our locations.
Right on. And you're kind of step further back now where you're kind of overseeing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
you're not just a line cook anymore, are we?
No.
Moving on.
Although I look back fondly at all of those memories and experiences. Well, fondly at most of them, but
there's always some that we weren't too fond of, but it got us where we are today. So.
I mean, yeah, dude. Without being a line cook, I would not be where I'm at today for sure. We wouldn't be doing this shit.
No, absolutely not.
So.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I talk about being a line cook all the time with all of my line cooks that I currently have. And I don't know, I feel like I sound like a fucking old guy, but I'll be like, well, this is how it was back in my day. People wouldn't fucking blink an eye at that or whatever.
This is how I've been doing it for 10 years. This is how we're going to keep fucking doing it.
Yeah, and they just look at me and laugh like, okay, Unc,
We are getting old though, man.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
32. Yeah.
Wow, I wish I could say the same. Because we're both about to turn 40, right, Josh?
I'm approaching 37.
Yeah, I'm 39, so yeah. My back hurts. Tell you that.
I got gray hair and shit now. Which I'm not sure is from my age, or if it's from the industry that I've chosen to work in, but either way.
That's the middle part of the Venn diagram that it all leads to this.
Yeah, I'd say it's a healthy balance of both.
Oh, man.
All the above.
Do you like where you're at working at now?
Yeah, no, I love it. This is the best job I've ever had. So
heard that.
It's a healthy balance of work, life. The pay's great.
Yeah. Salaried employee now?
Salaried employee.
Oh, is
yeah.
it nice?
It's very nice.
It's so nice.
There's some times where I'm having to stay late or whatever, because nobody else will do it.
You just got to remind yourself that you do it for that lovely salary that they pay you.
Yeah, and it's great. There's more benefits to it than there are, I think. Detrimental things for sure. So yeah, it's great, and this place it really allows me to be creative. We're trying to change our menu up every 3 or 4 months.
They give you a lot of just creative freedom.
Yeah, at the beginning when I first started, it was kind of working a lot with the owner and executive chef. But now he's doing a lot more administrative things and kind of giving the program over to me for the most part. And so I have really a lot of autonomy in what I want to put on the menu and things like that, and just a lot of creative freedom that I've never had before at a job. So it's pretty sick, and I really enjoy it.
Well, when it comes to creative freedom, people don't realize that's what we strive on.
Mm-hmm.
And I've worked in places where no, we're just going to stick to this menu. We really don't care about your opinions on anything. It's like, we have so much to offer that's outside of what you guys normally do. So the fact you're allowed to actually have that creative freedom, I'm sure that helps you out too.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And the place that I came from before this job, I was also salaried, but I had zero creative freedom. They had been running the same menu for 14 years.
Oh, jeez.
They would call... They would say, okay, let's do a special this weekend, and it wasn't a special. It was like a feature. a menu feature, right? That they wouldn't even take the price off of it. They would just be like, look at our meatloaf, which was real. I cooked meatloaf, so that's pretty interesting. But
I'm okay with a damn good meatloaf.
I like
a good
restaurant
to get.
I have strong
at the house. I will cook meatloaf all the time.
I have strong opinions about meatloaf in establishments. Like, meatloaf is one of those things that should only be cooked at home for your family, and you should never be able to even order meatloaf off a fucking menu. I'm sorry. It's not a restaurant style dish. I don't give a fuck what shape you cut your meatloaf into. It's still just fucking meatloaf.
But we got a ring mold.
Yeah,
it makes it fancy. Okay, we got a ring mold. There's something on top of
it.
Round.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with you on that one for sure. It just, I don't think it belongs on a menu. And like, we did catfish and mostly burgers, but the burgers were kind of crazy where we would like marinate the meat.
Okay. Go on.
You know, like tube meat or whatever that you get. Like everyone gets it or whatever for the most part, but we would add this like special recipe where the owner was like super secretive about it. Like she kept it in the office.
That's retarded. I hate chefs like that.
Yeah. No, it was terrible. And like we had our recipe book, you know, with everything in it, but she kept that separate.
Don't gatekeep your like I've never gatekeeped any of my recipes. You know, if I come up with something that's interesting and people want to know how to do and you ask, I'll tell you. Well, exactly how I did it.
Even with my cooks, I'm like, they'll make something like, because I'm like, think of special ideas. I have a whiteboard in my office. I'm like, if you think of a cool special idea, write it down.
Yeah.
And then they'll come up with something like, all right, write it in the book. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, no, add it to the recipe book. Like, this is good. Let's come back to it because it should be that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, let me guess, was it seasoned salt mixed with a little bit of water? Was that the marinade? That's usually a little bit of Lowry's on
No, but it's probably your second guess, which is Worcestershire and a little bit of A1 steak sauce.
I was hoping not, but yeah, there it is.
Black pepper.
Oh yeah, getting spicy with it. Okay.
And I shit you not. I'm just thinking of this now. You know, the owner would then tell us not to season the burgers, to order like with salt.
Wait.
Because
no salt?
Yeah, which is like completely contrary to the podcast.
And no salt. Kind of life in general.
Salt. Being a cook in general, it was like everything against my instinct. You know, I go in there first day, I grab a burger patty and I throw salt. I'm like, I'm looking around at the Mies, right?
You're like, where's my fucking S&P?
Yeah, there's no fucking salt. And I'm just like, what's going on? And she's like, oh, well, they're already pre-marinated and seasoned, so we don't have to season them.
Why?
So I cook one up, right?
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, maybe, you know what I mean? I'm not even at that point, I didn't immediately just be like, oh, you're fucking stupid. I cooked one and I ate it, and it was bland as shit. So I was like, well, this is stupid. And I cooked burgers like that for 8 months.
Did that break your soul?
Why fuck with a good thing?
I forgot about it after a while, which is depressing.
Oh, that's so sad. But I know that feeling too. You're like, oh, this is now my muscle memory, and it's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like, dude, we perfected the burger long ago. Why fuck with a good thing? Why try to fix something that's not broken? Like, it's a burger. It's supposed to be simple and straightforward. Like, you don't need to marinate your fucking burger meat. I'm sorry. You need to fucking take a meat patty and chuck some fucking salt and pepper on there and put it on the grill.
Just get a nice 80-20, got a little bit of flavor to it. It's good. I wanted it to be greasy, and I want to taste the beef. That's all that 100%. I want.
Yeah, that pisses me off.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, it sucked. And you know, so we cooked everything to temperature. But it was marinated in a bunch of fucking Worcestershire and A1 that you couldn't tell what it was whenever you cut it open. Yeah. It all looked fucking medium well.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, this sucks, but...
You know why we get complaints? Because you're marinating your beef.
Yeah. Well, trust me, that wasn't the only reason.
So you moved on to bigger and better things?
Bigger and better things.
That's all that matters.
Yep. Cooking better food, all from scratch.
Awesome.
Which is a good feeling, too.
It's great at the...
You get to revamp the menu that they had when you came in. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. We still have some things original on there.
Some things that were popular.
That are not going to leave. Mm-hmm. But that's just how it is because people love them.
Right.
But, you know, and then we're starting to rotate things in and out. And, pretty much I run it by the owner, and he'll just be like, okay,
That's all you need.
make it for me.
Yeah.
You know, I make it for him. If he likes it, then we'll do it. And what I kind of have been doing is menu testing, and then we'll run it as a special for a weekend.
That's what I was going to ask. That was my next question.
And so, you know, when we launched the new menu, everyone's like, oh, we've done these before. The servers are like, oh, I've seen this before. It's like, yeah.
You sure have.
Yeah, that's why we did it that way. So.
Well, my question with that is because, you know, I do the same thing where I think of a dish, the owner's like, let me taste it. But in my mind, sometimes I think to myself, it's not about what you like and what you want. It's about what the people want.
Yeah.
Have you had to come into that where it's like, you may not like it, but I know it'll sell? Like, have you had those situations yet?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of those in the past where you kind of you feel like you have to explain to the owner, like, hey, maybe, you know, you don't like this, but where I'm at now, I don't have any issue with that because, you know, the owner, he's a chef, he's been doing it forever. He understands that kind of thing. And he, you know, if you don't personally like it, you still taste it.
Oh, right? Absolutely.
You still do, unless you're allergic to it, you can't. But like you eat everything.
Just because I don't like, for instance, like, I don't like seafood. This is a pretty well-known fact.
I
just because I don't care for
seafood.
Doesn't mean that I won't try it. And I also understand that like other people are going to like this. Other people are going to enjoy it. Like, I know it's going to be good. You know, just because you don't like something doesn't mean it doesn't need to be on your menu. We encountered that a lot at 940's.
Yes.
When we were trying to revamp the menu there. And the owners just would not budge on certain things. And it's like, dude, we've said it before. I don't give a fuck what you like. I care about what they like.
Oh, my favorite thing is, and I'm sure all of us are going to agree on this one, you run a product mix, you see what isn't selling, you're like, cool, I'm going to get this off the menu. The owner's like, well, this one regular, and I'm like, this one regular doesn't fucking come here every day and spend their money, so I do not give a shit. We're getting rid of it off the menu and finding something better that'll sell.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
And it is fun when you go into a new place and you look at the old menu and you go, okay, like these are the things that people like. And then they give you that opportunity to say, okay, now write us a new menu. You know, that was something that I got to do at my current job. Me and Anthony went in there and we got to do a whole new, I mean, we made a bunch of menus because we do catering. You know, and so we were revamping the catering menus and we got to really like experiment and play around and really put our heart into that and create some things that were, you know, that we'd not seen on a menu before, you know. Black garlic risotto and God, what are some of the other ones? Why
has it got to be black, Josh? Jeez,
dude, I like the black garlic. I'm sorry.
There a little black pepper on there too.
I kind of even want to turn that into arancini, black garlic arancini.
But the prep on that just sucks.
Dude, it would be so good.
Yeah, I'm not doubting that.
So good.
Do it at home though. Don't 250 of them because your cooks are gonna hate you.
Oh yeah, especially if you put it on a catering menu.
Yeah.
I've worked here 15 years. What do I do? I roll rice in the bowls.
like one of the dumb little like past hors d'oeuvres that we do is just like these little fried mac and cheese bites, which the previous chef for 10 years had just ordered those from
the pre-made
Benny Keith or Chef's Warehouse or one of those places. And I was like, they weren't good. And I was like, I can do these and I can do them so much better,
right?
You know, and I thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, and then you hated yourself.
And then well, see, the great part is now I have cooks where I can like get everything together, and I'm like, all right, here's my pasta mix. It's already mixed up. All you got to do is take a disher, scoop it out, roll it in this, bread it, sit it on the sheet tray. You know, it's not gonna go. You know, I need you to make me 250 of those, and then we can put them in the freezer.
Yeah.
You know. And so it works out. I only have to do like the first like 12
just to show them.
You're like, I'm the ideas guy.
But I love that too. I have boiled eggs on our menu. I hate peeling eggs more than anything. I'm like, hey, I got people for that now. I'm like, you guys can do this. I'll do the 6 other things that I don't mind doing. Go peel some eggs.
A dish we had on our last menu that, because of the logistics of 2 locations with it. When we had 1 location, it was a lot easier, but was a country fried egg. So we would 6-minute eggs and peel them, fry them. Of course, I never had to do that ever, but I have a prep cook who was great at doing that. But they just wouldn't last in transit. Like we would, and because the second location is
you were soft boiling eggs and then
and then breading them.
Yeah, the old
like
6
a
minute.
country-
Okay.
Yeah.
Or like a Scotch egg where it's 6 and 6.
And then you pop it in the fryer, and it's like that jammy eggs.
Yup.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
They were pretty great, but yeah, whenever we would transport them, because the second location that we have is very small.
Okay.
Like the size of the 940 line behind the line, like 3/4 of that.
Was not
Which is
big.
tiny.
Yeah, it
And
was so small.
You know the side on the other side of the
Yeah.
line? Yeah, that's a wall where I have a window that goes out to the bar area.
Oh, shit.
Very small.
Yeah, that's tight.
And so we can't do anything like that there, so we'll do it at the main location, and then we will send it with our orders, and you know, sometimes they would just look real shitty, and I'm sitting there at the other location, I'm pulling them out, I'm like,
What the fuck
Some
is
things just
this?
don't travel well.
yeah.
Like
no.
eggs. Eggs do not travel well.
Yeah.
No. But speaking of eggs, and then you were also talking about like when your cooks have a good idea and they bring an idea to you. I recently had a cook. You know those like marinated soft boiled eggs that are like marinated in, like, it's essentially teriyaki. It's like soy sauce.
Yeah, we did that the other day.
Right.
For a family
So
meal.
he wanted to do these, and I was like, go for it. You know, let's see how they turn out. And we marinated them for like over the weekend, and they were super good. And I was like, dude, really proud of you. That's awesome. And then my brain went, what if we made egg salad out of these?
Okay, go with it.
What if I took soy marinated egg salad and put it in a little wonton cup and put a little scallion curl on it?
Other than the fact it'd be ugly as sin, I mean, because you're getting that soy egg, which is the black from it, when the yellow yolk, and
I mean,
delicious,
listen,
yes.
If you got them like, you know, how people do
Yeah,
those,
they'd be like
bites.
bite-sized hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah. Or, you know, how they have, like, events and stuff around, like, Chefs for Farmers or whatever. In, like, Dallas, they'll have people come out. It's like, oh, who has the best bite? That would be a good one that you could do.
Dude, I
just
was like, I think that'd be pretty tasty. Little, like, Asian egg salad bite.
add it to the recipe when we cook at my place. Which, Greg, you were invited to now, so
Hell yeah.
we're doing
Actually,
an episode out there.
there is something that we're planning on doing, and maybe you can help us with this. So we're gonna start doing some side content for the channel, right? It was originally where I was like, dude, we're not a cooking channel. I don't want to cook food, right? I've budged a little on this, okay? And so here's the idea. We're gonna cook really fancy food, but it's gonna be retarded.
Yeah.
Okay? So like a really good example of this is I want to do
It's terribly
what I'm going to call grilled cheese cobbler, which essentially I'm going to take a bunch of grilled cheeses, I'm going to make bread pudding out of them with a bunch of like cubes of cheese, and I'll make a nice little crumb on top, and then I'm going to cut that out into a fucking cylinder, put it on a plate, and do a quenelle of tomato bisque ice cream.
Oh, amazing. I love it.
That was my reaction too.
It's fancy, but it's also kind of fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And so we want to start doing stuff like this. He's been given the green light. We're going to use his kitchen after hours.
Very cool.
To create and film this process of us making dumb shit. And so we need your help.
Oh, I'm so in. It sounds like so much fun, and just like, it's not even like coming up with things for like a menu or whatever. Like
we're gonna make one dish.
That sounds awesome.
We're gonna make one dish. It's gonna be retarded, and then we're gonna have like one of our friends or somebody try it and tell if it's good.
Yeah.
You know.
So think of ideas of taking something that outside the mold.
Yep.
And doing something dumb with it.
White Claw bread. You know, beer bread.
Yeah.
We're gonna do blackberry White Claw bread.
Ooh. Wow.
Oh man,
it's gonna taste like bread with a whisper of blackberry.
Yeah.
A forgetfulness of it.
But yeah, so
or you could just like, you know, actually like put the blackberries, make like a compote, and like fold it in, and then you taste it, and you're like,
see,
yep, there it is.
But you're gonna taste that, and you're gonna be like, wait, why did we put White Claw in here?
Yeah. Because you fucking can.
Yeah.
That's
look,
why.
It has White Claw. It's like, this just tastes like a really good.
This just tastes like blackberry bread, bro.
Also, I think it would prove to people that we actually can cook.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, I think it'd be fun. It'd be a good way to showcase the skills that we do have. In fact, we can, in fact, cook, not just make terrible jokes on the internet.
It's not like I read a book about cooking. Like
Sometimes
I know
they
these
go hand in
terms.
hand.
Actually,
Dude, if the channel ever blows up, we're gonna do a more salt cookbook. Mark my motherfucking
that sounds
words.
awesome.
We're just put dumb recipes in the more salt cookbook.
Well, I mean, Snoop Dogg had a cookbook. Why can't we?
Fuck yeah.
I mean, Maddie Matheson put a bologna bowl that was microwaved in his cookbook.
Dream podcast guest,
Oh,
Maddie
man.
Matheson. I would fucking die to get this dude at this to get that dude at this table. It'd be so much fucking fun.
Hell yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. But so that's an idea that we had for some side content. We want
That's
to
super cool.
do some retarded dishes that are kind of like fancy looking.
I
So if you
remember,
come up with anything, let's get together. Let's brainstorm. Let's make
get a
some
group
shit
chat
happen.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember. Well, this reminds me of a time when we were at 940's. I don't know if you were there. You were definitely there.
Okay.
But us and the chef, and we had like talked about.
Was this when BC was there?
Yeah.
I
Brandon.
love BC.
Yeah,
I know,
dude.
same.
I would love to get him on this podcast.
Oh, man, I
Sidebar,
haven't-
but I don't know how to get a hold of the guy.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him in years. I would
Same.
love to talk to him.
I
too.
wasn't
Sorry, I didn't mean to,
No, it's good.
interject. I love that guy.
I think we had talked about at one point like infusing. You know how people make those fucking foams?
Yeah.
Fucking foams.
Yeah.
Infusing it instead of like with like strawberry essence, you do like fucking cigarette smoke.
Oh my god, I remember
You know,
this now.
like-
Yes.
Fucking terrible.
Yeah,
That's
just like
so-
dumb shit like that. And you're like, wow.
I
this is-
mean, actually, hold on. Maybe not tobacco.
How are you gonna save this?
Tobacco, like if you got
Like-
some good quality tobacco,
No, I'm talking
Yeah.
about fucking Marlboro Red.
I'm gonna throw a Parliament on there.
fucking cowboy killers. No, it's got to be Marlboros. Nothing else will do. I was gonna try to give you the benefit of the doubt. I was like, well, we could get some good tobacco and maybe
you
that has
could.
some flavor. You know, I do know that some cultures, in fact, did cook with tobacco as a seasoning.
Yeah. There are some Pinot Noirs that taste like tobacco. It's delicious.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not a terrible idea, but like, I guess we can fucking do Marlboro Reds. Yeah, sure.
Add it to the list. Add it to the list. We did a lot of fun stuff there, though. So, in case
What
you
would
guys
you put that on? What would you put cigarette foam on?
I feel like you could put it on like. I don't know.
See, my brain
know,
immediately
some-
goes to actually it'd have to go in a drink. It would have to go in a like an old fashioned with like fucking cigarette foam.
you go with like a Rob Roy or something, or like a Manhattan, like something.
I think you could do it on some sort of dessert, but you would have to add. You'd have to balance all of that shitty like Marlboro Red with like sugar of some sort. Like you could add it to like some sort of sweet bread like on top
Yeah.
or whatever. But you need some like aromatics too, like basil or something that like.
Like I'll try anything
really-
twice.
This is gonna rack my
I
brain
don't
too.
I'm willing to try it. I've never made a foam. Have you made foams?
I've made foam out of sea urchin. That's all I've done.
Oh, that's
Okay.
crazy. I've never done it either.
It's you just take the whipped cream charger, you hit it a couple times, same way you quick infuse alcohol.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's all you're doing is you can't. I hate to get technical with it, but
No,
you
please.
cannot compress a liquid. So therefore, whatever you put into a whipped cream canister and you're charging it, it shoves everything through the membrane walls of what you're trying to get flavor for. Because once again, how hydraulics work. So therefore, the flavor is forced into it. I can make you a raspberry flavored vodka in about 2 minutes, and you
Interesting.
think it would take about 2 weeks for it to sit.
Huh. That's crazy.
Interesting.
No,
I didn't actually know that's how that worked.
Uh huh.
Huh.
Little stuff we pick up on throughout the years.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Yeah.
back when I was bartending, and I just
Yeah.
turned it over to the culinary side.
Yeah, I could
Makes
never be a
sense.
bartender. I don't like people.
No, actually, you'd make a lot of money. You'd make a lot of money
When
for being an asshole.
Well, I bartended at the place you bartended at.
Yep. Made a lot of money being an asshole.
You did. I, however, was during the day and made like $20 sometimes
you
for
gotta be
that
nice
short
on it.
period of time while I was also running the kitchen. That was shitty too. See, that's one of the things I bring up to the kids these days. Where I'm like, listen, I used to fucking run this kitchen and make specials and bartend for $20 for the day, and then on top of that, $9 an hour. Yeah, $9 an hour. They laugh at me like, that's not true, Uncle Greg. Like, yeah,
Please tell us more stories.
dude. I promise that shit's true.
Oh God, that's funny.
I mean, the three of us did work at the same restaurant. same kitchen, different times, but you and I worked together, and I love working with you. Because it was the same with BC, where you guys taught me so much, and it was just a great experience.
Man, that kitchen, and even to this day, like, I'll talk about you and BC and, like, everyone when we worked in that kitchen, like Michael, like, all of those guys, dude, that we would just, like, we would cook stupid shit and have a blast. But, man, we put out some good fucking food.
Yes, we did.
And it was high volume at that point in time.
For a small restaurant, absolutely. It was not a big restaurant.
And I learned so much.
You guys probably only were able to sit, what, like 60 out of that dining room?
Man, maybe a little more than
I think it was 80 seats at one time because we had those two big tops, but we were still pushing $85K a month in just food sales.
Yeah. It was a lot, and people loved the food.
Yeah.
And we were
I
all
still
young.
think about that damn grilled cheese.
Oh, yeah. The short
rib grilled cheese with the egg on it?
Yes.
Oh.
That shit was...
But nowadays, it's one of those where it's, and I'm not trying to trash talk, but people are like, oh, where'd you, what other kitchens have you run before? And I was like, back 9 for O's, back when it was still good and all that stuff. And I know they're under new management. I get that.
Man, they just
hey, you know what?
And I hope
The
they
fact
pulled
that
out.
they're still there and Barley and Board isn't speaks volumes.
Actually, it does. It really does.
Listen, I think 940's at its peak, I think when we were there, had better food than Barley.
I agree, because that was our competition. We were trying to match.
Mm-hmm. I worked for both of y'all at the same, or both of them at the same time. They're at the first time that I worked at 940.
Yeah, we didn't sue these shit because we know how to cook to temp. So
that reminds me of that fucking movie, What Burnt, with Bradley Cooper, where he just like shoves the fucking
burnt
bag over his head, like, food condoms or whatever. He's like running around.
Oh, I gotta shuck oysters these days. That's all I think was burn the
you're
first
shucking
scene.
Oysters?
Oh yeah. Oh, I hate it.
How is the restaurant going?
It's good. It's picking up.
Yeah.
And we're starting our marketing. We opened at a real rough time with school coming back, but that was for our kitchen to actually kind of ease into it. And my cooks all day long is, let's get busy. I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
And so I got a great team. We got a solid menu that's working, and I'm ready to get busy. And all it takes is marketing. We already have regulars. I see some faces 3 times a week already.
Yeah.
So the foods, once they're in there, we got them.
Yeah.
Just trying to get them in there now. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I'm sure. I mean, you guys just opened up. It's going to take a little bit of time for people to kind of discover you,
figure out where we exist.
Yeah. But I'm sure it'll pick up here soon. I'm sure. I feel like Cajun food, especially, like, it's spicy. That to me, that's winter food. And when it gets cold, that's when I want spicy food.
And that's why we've incorporated more summer dishes and it's
salads and shit.
Oh my god,
craziest thing ever! I had a cook come in. No, sorry, front of house kid come in on his off day. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, no, it's your off day. Get out of here. He's like, yeah, but the salad you make is just so good that I want it back, and I want it every single day of my life. And I'm like, okay, it's a salad, man. Like. I appreciate it, but it's just a salad. I had corporate chefs from different food purveyors come in, and they're like, this is the best salad I've ever had in my life. The funniest thing is, the lemon vin that we made at 940's for the Brussels sprout salad? I changed out the lemon for sherry vin.
Oh.
But I'm like, guys, it's 5 ingredients. It's just balanced. It's all that it is.
The honey lemon vin there was...
so good.
Stupid good.
And so simple to make. I made it at home on accident. I was trying to make a salad dressing, and I was like, I'm going to grab some lemon, grab some honey.
A lot of my, like, salad dressing, like, stuff that I do now, like, a lot of that is based off those recipes that I initially learned as a young line cook at 940's.
And
because that was my beginning days where, I wasn't even anywhere near being a chef yet. It was just some grimy fucking line cook. I was a piece of shit. I'm sure you remember.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, you were.
Okay, me too, guys. All right, I'm part of this group.
I feel like you're better than us.
Well, because I had 10 years of military, it doesn't change anything. I'm still a piece of shit, guys. I'm still working on a line.
I think you're right with, like, those salad dressings, like the things
they
that we
stuck
were
in
making
they stuck in my brain.
The way that I hope he watches this, but the way that BC taught us how to make some stuff.
BC, if you ever see this, fucking mad shout outs to you, my
absolutely.
To this day, I'm teaching kids how to cook the way that he taught me how to cook.
Yep, same.
And he's a couple years older than me.
Yeah.
Like,
dude was super talented, and I think he was really undervalued there.
I fully agree.
100%. The guy
he was
so much
way
and,
too
like,
talented to be working at 940s. I'm sorry.
Well, and I felt
Yeah.
like a piece of shit because I got offered the job after him. Mm-hmm. And the look on my face, I'm sure everyone saw. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm not done learning from him. I have so much more that I could gain. And you guys, I'm like, no, keep him. He knows what he's fucking doing. Like,
yeah, and he was a great
I
teacher.
ran into him maybe like 6 months ago outside of like a gas station. I was like,
that's the most
holy
deadly thing I've
shit,
ever heard.
BC, you know? saw him, you know, shook his hand, you know, he said he was doing all right, and then he vanished
Into the sunset?
into the void, yeah. Oh, my.
I feel like nowadays when I'm trying to teach, he's probably the one out of all the chefs I've worked for that I bring up the most.
Same.
As far as like things that I've learned. I mean, it just kind of reminiscing on that time and the crew that we had at that place. Most of those people are still like doing badass things. Like I know Kirby. I haven't talked to him in a little while, but like Kirby's doing badass things in barbecue. And
Good
like,
for him.
I know Michael was he moved to Chicago.
Yeah, because he went to Alinea,
He
right?
went to Alinea. I don't know if he's
No
still there.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know if he's
I
still
think
there.
you told me this
Yeah.
story. This was the guy that just for months badgered them about
Yeah, he went on Instagram.
if they had a job opening, and then they were like, sure.
Yeah, and he dropped everything, and him and his girlfriend at the time, I believe they're married now, but
Just went to my hometown and decided, hey, we're going to go work at Alinea.
Dude, I need to get that guy to come back down to Texas for a podcast.
That would be
Funny
crazy.
shit.
I think he's
I
still
would
up there, but
love to
man,
talk to this guy.
it's been years since I've talked to him, and man, just the personality in that kitchen too. Just like everybody was a fucking shithead, and
God,
Brandon had to deal with all of it at 27 years
Yeah.
old, and come up with them. It was insane, and it was just it was a great time to really what. Honestly, if I didn't have that experience, I don't know if I would have stayed in it.
Same.
Like for the long haul to like actually do the thing, because that was my first kitchen where I was actually like, okay, I want to be a chef now.
Yeah.
Like I stopped doing the music thing for the most part, and I was like, all right, I want to do this and learn as much as I can, and not just work on the line at a pub or whatever, or a bar.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so I do think pretty fondly about that time for sure.
We had so many personalities back there, but the thing what I really cherished the most was we all brought something different.
Yeah.
We all brought a different angle to something, but we all could sit down and talk about it and be all right, you make your version, I'll make my version, let's see how it works out. Then we end up combining recipes. Like the ego was gone. No one cared. No one's like, oh, this is my recipe. No, it's ours.
Yeah.
This is our restaurant's recipe towards everything. And I've been in and out of the industry for three times now. Whenever I want to get back in, I remember how happy I was working there.
Yeah.
I would get home from a bar shift at 4 a.m. and I would turn it around and be back at 9 a.m. in that kitchen. And I would stick it through. It would suck, but I was happy working there.
Dude, and I think the time and everything, and this is nothing on 940s, but I think at the time, like, starting pay was like 10,
It
15.
wasn't great.
yeah.
It wasn't great.
It was
10, 15
pre-COVID.
an hour. Yeah, it was pre-COVID,
Yeah.
and it was like, I was like, fuck yeah, like, not minimum wage, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was crazy. I think I ended up, getting a couple of raises there over time, but yeah, it's kind of insane to think about, like, being so excited to come in there like every morning, and like we did brunch Saturdays and Sundays, and we didn't even have a break. Like right now at the second location that we have, we're doing brunch, but I'm doing that from 8 o'clock until 3.
Ooh, that's a shift.
And then from 3 to 5, we have a break. We just do coffee and pastries.
Good. How it should be.
Nice.
And
Reset.
then 5 o'clock, we open up a completely different menu. And then we do a dinner menu from like 5 to 9 or 5 to 10 on the weekends. And, I think people kind of like expect that break to have like the time to set up. But if you're running directly from, 2:59, you're serving a brunch menu to 3 o'clock,
You're getting a fucking
you're serving
steak.
dinner.
Yeah.
Which that's
is
how
insane.
most restaurants are.
Yeah.
But you realize you got to
you-
flip the whole line.
You
Yeah.
have to reset quick as fuck. You know,
And you're there like with 2 other people,
Panicking.
maybe
Screaming.
and a dishwasher, maybe.
Crying.
Yeah, and yeah, so that's always insane to me, and it feels like a luxury to be able to have that time to like reset, and then you can like focus on like getting your station set, and it makes service so much better. And I think, you know, you might make a couple people upset that you're resetting or whatever, but I think the benefit outweighs, like, having
really
your
does.
cooks scramble, your servers scramble, maybe you're doing shift change. Like, it's just a shit show that I think you see at a lot of restaurants that
owners, listen to your cooks.
Yeah, I am glad that I, again, am in a place where I can, like, have the break and, like, all that. Of course, I don't work the line really and have to, like, do that. It would be nice in theory if I was actually doing that, but I'm sure the cooks that we have, like, really appreciate it.
Now, do you remember the brunch story of when I first started working there? Because I sat down with BC and I told him, I hate brunch. I was scarred at 16 years old, Mother's Day poaching 16 eggs at one time. I said I would never work brunch again. And he's like, don't worry, you don't have to work Sunday brunch. You fuckers schedule me on Saturday brunch every single fucking week. And I was like, damn it, you know what? I didn't say not Saturday brunch, but you guys got me.
Hey,
you guys got me good.
I don't know if you remember Sunday at that time, I think, God, almost two and a half years that I was there, I was working Sunday brunch, and then I worked Sunday night as the lead cook because everyone else had off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I worked a double on Sundays, and there was there was a point in time too where I would come in. This was when, you know, we had got pretty comfortable, but I would come in and there would be a bartender there, and me and BC would be setting up for brunch, and we'd hear the bartender, breakfast, and we go out there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, well, you remember that point in time?
Yeah, because you don't remember that we also had second breakfast as well. Right before 11 Z's.
Yeah, you know, there's no. Yeah, we were hobbits for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, maybe even more than that. But God, and I would start my double that way, and fucking truck it out. But there was one point in time I remember one shift specifically where it was so busy, and I was being like the lead at night, running like the saute station, and we had gotten busy, and I don't know how many breakfasts I had had that day.
Quite a few.
Several.
Yes.
You know, the GM at the time too, I would kind of look at him, you know, hey, and he would bring me another breakfast, you know. That was great. Yeah. But then all I remember is, like, being super pissed off and, like, throwing pans around, and you know, the bartender was like, oh, Greg's fucked up in the back, like, they're all going down. Like, I was like, oh, shit, well, here it is. Oh, yeah, good times, though.
You know, and it was, but there was a time and a place. And the way that I look at things is, we were the pieces of shit we needed to be when we needed to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at us now, we've changed our lives around.
Crazy.
We're doing bigger
I
things.
could never drink on the line. That was never my thing.
Oh, man.
Wait, you refused every time. I'm like, let's go grab one real quick. Come on.
I know me. Like, I can work stoned out of my mind, right? Easy, right?
Everything makes sense now.
But drunk, absolutely not. Like, I also, like, I already have a short fuse, you know. I have a temper that I work very hard to keep under control, and alcohol does not do me any favors.
And that's fair.
That's why I literally, like, the only time I drink nowadays is literally when we're filming these podcasts.
My one day a week that I have a drink is sitting here talking to people, and you know, and speaking of which, like, you know, you started to become sober yourself, and you know, I'm sure that was a venture that, like mine, when I became sober in certain areas, that it needed to happen.
Yeah, no, 100%. And
it's
like,
hard. It's a struggle.
You know, we laugh about, like, you know, me being an asshole on a Sunday night, fucked up behind the line. Kind of normalizing that culture is kind of what led to, at least in my case, led to having a pretty severe drinking problem.
Which is super rampant in this industry.
Yeah. And I think because of that,
it's like
normality,
70% of people that work in the industry have some sort of, like, substance abuse issue.
Yeah.
Which is a wild number.
Yeah. And, you know, I think starting out, you know, 940s was one of those places where we would just, I mean, we would go to, fucking Midway Mart and get a case of Montuckies and keep them on the line, like in the coolers.
It was in our Sandy buckets. I mean,
yeah, and you know, like, that's the kind of shit that, like, I think is hilarious. It really doesn't, at least from my kind of vantage point now, like in the company that I work for, would never happen.
Oh, no,
like
absolutely
it would
not.
never be a thing. Like, and I think that it's kind of the industry is moving in a good direction when it comes to that.
I agree.
But it's just crazy. Like, and even working at the bar was insane. Like, being in the kitchen there and just like I made like dog shit money, right? But then you would work a shift and you're like, fuck, I'm gonna get off, I'm gonna drink, and then you close the bar down, and so you're there from open to close, whether you're working, whatever, and you spend all of the money that you made for that shift
absolutely
on alcohol. I mean, I remember the owner of that place sat me down one time and was like, hey, you're spending more money here, because we could run up tabs at that time, and you're spending more money here than you make. And I was like, fuck.
But that's one of those things too, like I said,
when you realize it becomes a problem.
Yeah. And that was early on too. Like, I mean, I drank for years after that. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't stop, man. That was just like the first
trust
sign.
me,
That was just the first sign.
If you think like, and a lot of people have their different stories about like sobriety and all of that, but something like that being the rock bottom, that's great if it's yours or anybody else's. Like, but there is a lot worse rock bottoms that can really make you like change the way that you kind of view things and do stuff. So.
Well, and you bring up changing the culture of the kitchen. I think it's really big because we come from toxic kitchens. Is why, and it's another. I'm not saying it's the reason why we drink, but it was a contributing factor to it. And I've noticed that the way that I run my kitchen, like I want everyone in good spirits because you put your emotion into food. I want everyone in a good place, and we don't sit around and drink at the end of the night.
Yeah.
I turn off the vent hood, I turn off the light, and I'm out the door.
Ironically, it was the industry that actually got me to stop. Like, okay, so before I was in the industry, I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing. I was living a very different kind of life, and I was making lots of different kinds of mistakes. And amongst those mistakes were I was abusing all kinds of substances.
Sure.
And then I found myself in jail for me, what felt like a lengthy period of time, a little over 6 months, long enough for me to realize that jail sucks.
Yes.
And I don't want no part of it. I look terrible in orange. It's not my thing, right? I did not have a good time. And so when I got out of jail, I went back to my old job, which at the time would have been Pizza Hut, right? I was a line cook. I was a line cook at Pizza Hut. And then very shortly thereafter, I got very lucky. I got offered a job at Barley and Board.
Okay.
And that was the job that made me realize, like, I might not be super good at this yet, but like I enjoy it. And that combined with, not wanting to go back to jail, those are the things that kept me out of trouble and got me off of, away from certain substances that I was doing. And, like that was my redemption arc, like I got out of jail. I got out of a chapter of my life that wasn't great, and working in kitchens gave me the structure and that I needed to not only learn a skill and a passion and something that would eventually become my career, but also like kind of gave me that path of staying sober, staying off of away from certain things. Like, of course I'm around it constantly,
right.
And yes, I can still drink with my friends and stuff, and that's great. But like, I was never one of those people. Like, I started so late in life, I think, because I didn't get into the industry till I was like 27.
Which is late when it comes to the industry.
Yeah.
We talked before, I was 16, 17 years old.
I was 20.
I was old enough already by that point where I was like, I've done all my partying. I've made all my bad decisions.
Right.
And I have no desire to go back to jail. And I like this path that I'm on. And I want to keep doing this. This is my drug now. This is my addiction. I would leave work. I'd go home and admittedly smoke pot and, read cookbooks and watch cooking shows and just absorb as much as I could because I loved it.
And that re-hit me again with this job that I have now, where I am happy every single day that I leave work after getting my shit pushed in with tickets, and I am satisfied, I am good. I've met someone for myself that is super fucking healthy on top of that leads towards the right direction. And it's, like you said, the arc. It is kind of a cliche thing, but at the same time, you look at all three of us now, go back 10 years, where the fuck were we? But all of us are doing good things, moving in the right direction with people, partnerships, if you will, that have allowed us to even excel even further in life. And it's kind of a cool thing to see. Like, that's why, Greg, I was so happy when I knew it was you coming up here.
Yeah, I hit him up and I was like, do you know Greg Witwer?
I was like, I know family.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of which, how is family doing? Good.
Yeah, no, family's great.
Good.
Yeah, family's great.
You're engaged now.
I am engaged.
Congratulations.
That caught me by surprise.
Yeah, no,
In a good way.
I'm engaged, and man, I tell you what, like this whole journey that I've kind of been on the last 2 years now, being sober and everything, like the job that I'm at, she was at this job before me,
right,
and kind of helped me get the job there.
Mm-hmm.
When I was working at the marinated burger place.
That will go down in infamy right there.
Yeah, so I thank her for saving me from that nightmare, but also she is in the same industry doing all of this stuff, has done
So she
all of the
understands
things,
the struggles.
She gets all of it.
Yeah.
And that's really cool to have in like a life partner.
Yeah.
And it sounds kind of cliche, but I knew that she was the one the second that I met her. I tell her that all the time. She thinks I'm joking. But now maybe since I said it on a podcast, she'll believe me. But
It's out there now for the world.
But it's funny because you bring up what we go through, and you found someone in the same industry, and it's one of those where respecting our schedules, we will go above and beyond for someone. If they're like, hey, can we go get breakfast before you have to go into work? I know you work nights, but can I at least find time for us to hang out? And it's, what you're saying too is you got lucky in finding someone that fully understands. And I think that's real cool that you're able to grow that life in a way. And, I'm happy for you. You know that.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
It's super important to find somebody who, like, they're busy, you're busy, but, like, you still are, like, you understand that, and so you're still able to make that time for each other.
Absolutely.
Like, there's somebody in my life that, like, no matter the fact that I'm always either working or editing video or doing something, she's always like, what are you doing? I'm editing video. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Or I'm working, but we still find time to, we still find those opportunities to make time for each other and spend time together. And it's, it's important, and it's good to have somebody that understands and is super supportive of the things that you have going on in your life.
Yeah, for sure. And with her working in bread, she's up and at work 3 a.m.
Oh, jeez.
3 days a week, and just a little bit later than that the other 2 days. I don't have to go into work till 7.
I don't have to go to work till 11.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy talk.
But it's funny you bring that up. I remember getting home from a bartending shift in a city close to us, and I would get home, there was a bakery across the street, and I'd be sitting outside drinking a beer, smoking a cigarette, watching all these little bakers coming to work. I'm like, I do not want that life.
Fresh croissants, though.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I'm sure you're spoiled at home.
I bet you get all the pastries.
The leftover pastries, mind you.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to watch my figure, so I can't eat too many, but it, definitely is something that is readily available all of the time, and the ones that we make at work are absolutely incredible too. So awesome. It definitely helps with that. But yeah, well,
good. It sounds like everything's on the up and up, and
everything's on the up and up.
Good.
Yeah, everything's great, and I'm kind of glad. Like,
were you already on your journey of sobriety when you met her, or was that something that came after?
No, it was beforehand. Can
I ask kind of what got you to that point?
To the sobriety, like the final sobriety,
yeah, because those are always exciting moments.
Oh well, exciting.
Usually that's really bad and really good at the same time.
Yeah,
though.
I mean that is one way. That's one way to put it, is exciting. But yeah, so I met her after I had already been sober for a while.
Okay,
I took some time to myself to just work.
Reevaluate, if you will.
Yeah, and I was sober when I got hired at the burger place.
Okay.
I then relapsed. I had relapsed because
You're cooking marinated burgers, yes.
well, if you're getting down to the nitty gritty, I'll just blame it on the fucking marinated burgers. It would make sense to everybody, but no. Well, I guess it kind of did have something to do with that, but you know the boxes that the tube meat comes in, like you get your fucking four logs
10-pounders.
and they fucking put them in there. This kitchen that I was working in had a small like door that you would walk through to go to the prep room and like dry storage area, and it was right by the back door too, so it wasn't very safe to begin with.
Okay.
And to make it worse, this is where we would put our dirty linens and stuff, so it's a really tight squeeze. You almost couldn't fit a speed rack through there.
Oh, that's real small.
That's how tight it was. Yeah, and so I got lucky with that job because the owner had decided that they wanted to pay their management more, so I was making a decent amount of money. However, I didn't realize that would mean that I had zero help. I was in the kitchen at that point by myself. No, there was one other person.
Oh, jeez.
And so I was running from the line into that back area where we had a couple of fridges, and the box that meat was stored in was on the ground, and I fucking tripped, right? And I fell, and I landed like on my right hand, and it broke my arm.
Oh,
right here.
Shit.
Yeah. So
those injuries are detrimental. Like, I don't know if you guys understand out there, but we work on our feet, on concrete, with our hands. We break something, it could destroy our futures.
Yeah. No, it was terrible. And I was like debating, because I heard something crack or snap. And
I've butchered enough where I know it's bad.
Yeah, the kind of, I thought it was like my hand maybe hitting the concrete where it makes that like clap kind of sound, but it wasn't that. And it was, and I had a hard time like getting up. But then when I did, I was like it was one of those like toxic like workaholic things in me where
right
I was
back
like,
to the line.
I finished closing.
With a broken arm.
Yeah, I finished closing.
That's gangster.
Yes, unfortunately but still.
No, I mean I was like hanging here.
No, I got another hand. We're fine.
Yeah, I can flip burgers with my left hand.
That's fucking god damn, dude.
Mad
props to you for that, but also you're fucking retarded.
Yeah, no, it was crazy.
But that is once again going back to that toxicity.
Yeah, and the owner, I honestly, if I would have had to leave, there was nobody else in that restaurant that could have.
Yeah.
I was the only one. There was a high school kid on the line. There was some like high school kids up front and some shitty like bartender there, and it was that was it. You know what I mean? Like, and I was one of 3 managers in that entire place. So
leaving wasn't an option.
Leaving really wasn't an option. Yeah. You know, and I was kind of under the impression, and I didn't even run it by. Like I had told one of the other managers before I told the owner, like, hey, I need to go get my arm checked out. Like, I don't think I can come into work tomorrow.
Right.
You know, that's when it's like, oh.
No, what do you mean you can't come to work?
Yeah. And so the culture was kind of just like, you work.
I mean, did you tell them that you received an injury at work?
Oh, yeah. No, I got workers' comp for it.
Okay.
Eventually.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening was I was so, like, overworked at the time. I was newly sober. Well, I say newly sober. I was, like, hitting the 8 to 10 month mark, which is still
that's a pretty good. Yeah. I mean, that's a hell of a milestone. 8 months is not nothing. Those first 8 months are fucking hard.
Yeah.
But it is still early enough in that, you know,
it's still
quite literally trip and fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it was. Like, I didn't have the tools because at that point in time I was working so much because I thought that I had to. Mm-hmm. I thought that, like, not focusing on things like hanging out with friends and drinking and focusing on, like, regardless of how bad I thought the food was, on something.
Yeah. And
spending all of my time doing that, well, it just kind of shows you, like, anything like breaking your arm. I immediately went home and I drank.
Yeah.
It was like, that was it.
And no one can blame you for that at all, whatsoever.
Yeah, looking back on it, I'm like, oh, I just didn't have the tools to, like...
Yeah.
I was sober, but I wasn't, like...
You didn't know
really
how
working
to
on
manage
anything
that.
And, like, managing any type of, like, anxiety, stress. I was
right.
like, am I going to get workers' comp?
Yeah.
I can't work tomorrow. Like, you know, she was one that I would not put past her, like, taking money off of my salary because I missed a day or two.
Right.
Or, like,
and so you numb it.
Yeah.
You numb that feeling.
That's 100% what it was.
Yeah.
And eventually I got workers' comp for it, but
thank God for those non-slips that did not work.
Yeah. Well, so the non-slip wasn't the problem. I always wear them. But what happened was I got my foot stuck inside the box and then tried to lift it out of the box and it got caught on the lip. You know how they have those?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
With the makeshift handles in the side of them?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. My toe got stuck in there. And so I was trying to move and then lift it out. It got caught. I fell. And
So to all you people out there that make these boxes, get rid of that shit because I've actually almost pulled a wrist out. Like, don't do it.
Or, fucking don't leave shit on the fucking ground.
But what do we expect? I mean,
dude, honestly,
which would make the most sense, but come on now, common sense these days, I mean...
That is not where that belongs.
No. 6 inches, guys, 6 inches, all right?
yeah, it's got to be 6 inches off the ground.
I just took my manager test, I know these things.
Yeah.
So you fell off the wagon.
For
how long?
Man, it lasted a total of 4 days.
Really? Okay.
4 days.
Okay.
Until I landed myself in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what it was. I just... Essentially, the place that I was living at was actually a really nice house. I was paying like $800 a month for this one room that I was in. It was like 6 bedrooms in this place. I had a lot of roommates. It was in Rockwall, really nice area. But essentially, where I was going with that is I pretty much just stayed at home. Drank. I didn't follow up on like any of my workers' comp shit. Essentially ghosted this place.
Right.
And then ended up in the hospital. And my best friend growing up, and my best friend to this day, he lives in Pittsburgh. But his parents live in Dallas. And they came because my parents they moved from DFW back to Wisconsin. So I didn't have any family around, like direct family around. And so they, who were essentially like second parents to me, they came to the hospital and picked me up, took me to their place, and I moved in with them. Right. And I lived there for a year and a half.
How much did that help?
Amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And,
Is that like the support system you needed?
Yeah, I think so. And like, even though like I feel like they probably would have wished that I hung out with them more, like in the living room and stuff, I just kind of was in my room, like focusing on, I don't know, I was playing a lot of video games and like shit like that. And just kind of getting my head right. Mm-hmm. I called that place back, kind of told them just exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. They ended up hiring a guy to replace me, which funny enough, this guy is my sous chef at our second location that we have currently because he was actually one of the only good things to come out of that job. And
right on.
The second that I had the bandwidth to hire somebody for the position at that new location, I called him.
Nice.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
that's the industry. That's the full circle of this industry, though.
Yeah, so they hired him to replace me, and we ended up working as like co-kitchen managers at that place, and hating it equally as much.
It's amazing how much the equal hatred brings out so much more love for each other.
It was great. Yeah, we bonded so much over the hate for marinated burgers and meatloaf, normal shape too, which is like
normal shaped.
Square
meatloaf.
Yeah, square meatloaf. Peasants. Ketchup sauce. I swear to God, this sauce was ketchup and brown sugar.
Of course it was.
That's it.
Okay, because that's what I make at home.
When I know, but like whenever I was there, I was like, "There's got to be, you got to at least put something in there to make it a little different."
Oh yeah.
No. Ketchup, brown sugar. You cook it down, you slap it on that fucking thing, and you
call it a glaze, and we're good.
You call it a glaze, and we're good. Yeah.
God damn.
But yeah, that was my last time that I relapsed.
Yeah.
And it's been 2 years.
Congratulations, man.
I said when I got the text that you were going to be here today, I was super stoked because it's been a while.
Yeah.
And then got the text, saying that you were sober, that this is what our plan was. I could not have been more stoked for someone to be bettering their lives. And we were talking before the show today, of course, like we always do. And it's just, not only is it great to see you, but hearing that things are going real well, I mean, I couldn't be happier.
It's fucking fantastic.
All of our adventures, the places that we go, the fact that we knew each other back in the day when we were the pieces of shit that we were, and seeing it now, man, I'm real happy for you too.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. It's sometimes it's surreal when I think about it, because I'm sitting here. I have this amazing fiance, incredible job, a lot of great friends, good cooks, like, and now I'm able to do things like this. Which whenever you messaged me, I was like, oh, I hope it's about the podcast. Like, I swear to God, because I knew you were doing this because I'd seen it, and I was like, that's so cool. I was like, oh, more salt, that's cool. Like, I was like, I hope it's about the podcast, and then you invited me out here. I was like, I got to do it.
Yeah,
you know?
Dude, I appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
You know, like it's awesome to have you. It's been a long time since I've seen you as well.
Yeah, and now that I'm like really kind of set in a new lifestyle, doing things that I love, and like I'm able to come back here to a place that I really left and tried to stay away from. And I feel comfortable coming back here and comfortable seeing old people and comfortable, you know, with all of that stuff. It's actually really cool to like know that that's still an option for me, to where like whenever I left Denton, I was like, I can never come back. Mm-hmm. You know, there's always that like finality to it where it's like I'm never going to be able to come here and not drink or not, you know, get into that toxic behavior,
run into people from your past that
that haven't changed, that haven't made that growth in their lives, that they're stuck in the same place.
You know, from my understanding, there's plenty of them. And you know, they're on their own journey. You know, I hope nothing but the best for everybody.
Right. You can still love and care about those people, but like sometimes you have to do it from afar.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody's, you know, after a certain point, if somebody's unwilling to change, like you can only do so much, you know, and it's like I'm trying to, you know, my life is advancing. I'm progressing through my journey, you know, and I love you and I respect you and I hope you're doing okay, but like that's not the life that I'm living anymore. And so, you know, we're not going to hang out as much.
And but that's the thing. Some people grow and move on, and some people are content where they're at, and it doesn't really matter. What matters is what's best for you.
Contentment is death, dude.
I fully agree.
Dude, I was actually just having a conversation with my mom on the phone yesterday about that.
Yeah. Complacency and contentment are it's stagnation. It's death.
When I was drinking, and I don't think I can contribute it to like wholly the alcohol, but it gave me an excuse.
Right.
Oh, of course.
To be like, oh, I'm talented, so I'm good enough to work this line, and I'm the best line cook you got. You know what I mean? Like, where you can find somebody else, motherfucker. They're so drunk, we can fire me. Come on, bro. You ain't gonna work this service tonight. Like, you know. But that's kind of where the mindset was, and like, now where I'm at is I'm hungry for more. Like, I tell my boss all the time, I want to take on this responsibility, this. I was like, let me help you run this fucking business. Yep. Because I think if you're complacent, then you get bored, and when you get bored, bad things happen, and you just
idle hands.
Yeah, idle hands. Right?
I struggle with those things, especially when it's like slow. Mm-hmm. You know, I struggle with complacency. I need it to be busy. I need something to be focused on. I need a list of things to do. Like I need to be able to have these things. Otherwise, I'm just, you know, I will grow content, and that's not good.
And it's funny because people are like, "Oh, you only have one day off." I'm like, "Yeah, but that's actually kind of healthy for me right now." Sure.
Yeah.
And this is one of those where I'm happy to be at work. Like I walk in, I do not. When I turn on those lights, I'm like, all right, let's get this day. Let's get rolling. Let's do what we got to do. I don't hate it. I don't dread going to work. Like things are good right now. Mm-hmm. And you know, I can see that when you're talking about it too. You have such a good growth story, and you're further along than mine is right now, and it gives me so much kind of faith and hope, and like I can get to that point, and like I met someone that's been real fucking supportive. Yeah, and been real great, and makes my life easier.
Yeah, I think that was huge for me. I also think the fact that I like started by myself doing it, and then meeting that person was good. She's never seen me not sober. Like I tell her some of these stories, she's like,
can't see that.
She's like, doesn't compute.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
She's like,
divided my zero on that one.
I'll start telling a story about back in the day, like some bullshit, ridiculous thing that we would do in a kitchen, and she'll just look at me and be like, fairy tales. She's like, I just can't picture it. And I just think that's hilarious because I can.
I've seen it.
I'm sure a lot of people that have met me can.
But it's also the fact that you started this venture on your own, and this is something that you've done for you. It's not that you found someone that changed you. No, you changed yourself, and then you found someone to fit that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And made you kind of just lifted you up even more. And that's the real cool part, too, because you did this on your own.
I mean, I still have a hard time, like, even, like, admitting that. Like, just that I did it myself. Like, a lot of times I'll think, I'm like, damn, I just got lucky.
Yeah.
Like, well, how lucky I got.
Oh, yeah.
But in reality, it's like looking at it, it's like, okay, I did this thing. I got sober. I put the work in.
Mm-hmm.
I met somebody who is so supportive and incredible and loves me for me, which, you know.
Do not downplay that whatsoever either.
Yeah, and I don't think that, like, me when I was drinking, like, coming up in the industry, I don't think that wasn't me. But I think the most genuine and, like, pure form and best version of myself is me currently.
Yeah.
Which is really cool to think about because there was a long time where I was kind of just like, I was like, oh, I peaked. You know, and people, I fucking peaked in high school, bro. And it's like, I felt like that.
You worked hard to get to where you're at, and
yeah.
I mean, you have so much to offer, and you have so much more to offer that you haven't even discovered yet. You know, and I think
100%.
that's the natural progression of our career path.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there was a time when I was a grungy line cook. I was very much still just learning, and I mean, we're constantly learning. You never stop learning.
We hope
like,
not.
In those, you know, in those beginning days where I was just like, okay, like I'm an okay line cook. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to be more, you know, I would like to someday be a chef, you know, and at the time it seemed like such a pipe dream, you know, it seemed like, I don't know how I'm ever going to get to that point of like, that's the person I want to be.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but with time and with effort and with a lot of fucking work.
But in knowing the end game in which you want to get to, and I've taken a lot of professional goals in my life, especially in the military, then coming into coming back to this industry, is I knew where I wanted to go, and I hit those. And that's where I fell off, is I've already hit these goals. What do I have left for me?
Yeah.
And I created new goals, and I had to. And that's why the last, opening this restaurant for me has been a new set of goals. I want another location. I want to invest more into different ideas. It's what you said. I want more. Give me more. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what makes us better at not just our craft, but as people in general to those that we're around.
Yeah. And I feel like, at least for me, I can keep asking for more because of the fact that I am sober now and able to handle those things.
Absolutely.
Like, the fact that I had done a lot of these things, maybe not particularly well, but done them while not sober, with such an obstacle like that, now with that out of the way,
you feel
like,
unchained.
Yeah, it feels like the sky's the limit. I'm always like, oh, I've got the bandwidth to take that on. Yeah, I can take that on. Yeah, I can take that on. I can delegate. It's insane. I never thought that like I would be able to do that kind of thing.
And I think a lot of chefs should aspire to those same things.
Yeah.
You know, myself included. Like, I always feel like I could be working harder.
Yeah.
I could be doing more.
I could.
You know,
I absolutely could.
You know, and so that's inspirational to hear. You know, like.
I mean, the only downside about everything is that you're still a Packers fan.
I was wondering.
I was in.
I almost brought it up when you talked about your hometown.
I know.
Knowing that is
So,
Chicago.
fun story about this to everybody is the day that I met you, you told me you're from Wisconsin. I was like a fucking Packers fan. I'm a Bears fan. You know, we haven't done shit in fucking 86. Let's be honest here. 2006 was a fucking dream wish.
Yeah.
But you know what? We got past that. Because I still listened to what you said, because you still taught me a lot of shit too when I was over there. So I could put that aside. But Wisconsin is still my favorite state for cheese curds, and that's about it.
Hey,
so.
They have great cheese curds.
Great cheese curds.
And great football teams. But
and we're not talking about that. Old Lambeau Field. I own a partnership in that. Of course you do.
Yeah, especially now that number one is in the house.
Oh, we're
That's
not
the last
there.
I'm going to mention that.
And we're good on that one.
What do you do outside of work, man?
I play video games.
What do you play?
Yeah, that's kind of the hobby that I really got into. It sounds like, I don't know, people are like, oh, you just play video games.
No, I mean, I'm a
whatever.
gamer.
I'm super
I play
into
games.
it.
That's
though.
what we do.
That's my fucking downtime. Is like sometimes I just want to play some fucking video games.
Yeah, like it helps me relax, but it also keeps my mind active. Like depending on what game it is, I think a lot of them I play. A lot of like single player story mode games as opposed to like the Call of Duty type thing where I think is just more reflexes and letting your brain just like slowly rot. Then it is.
It's an immersive story that I think because I do the same thing and play a lot of one player games because I want to take my mind off, but I want to keep it busy.
What have you been playing recently? Like top 3. What are your top 3 games?
Oh man, I've done this thing recently where I kind of jump around between games, and it's based on like the platform. This sounds kind of like I don't know what it sounds like. I jump between platforms. Like I have a Switch, and I'll like play The Legend of Zelda, which is probably one of my all-time favorite games.
Great series. I haven't played the most recent one on the Switch.
Yeah, the first one of that like kind of 2-part game, Breath of the Wild, that came out.
Yep.
It was amazing, one of my favorite games of all time, and I didn't think that they could do better. And then I played the second one, and I was like, "Wow, they did it better."
I've heard a lot of good things. I've not touched it.
It's amazing,
especially the YouTube channels that I watch too. Like I watch these, I'm like, man, I want to buy a Switch just because of this game.
I will say this: wait until you can get a Switch 2 and play that game on there.
Okay.
Because the way that they have smooth frame rates now. You have like directional. I can put my headphones in via the USB-C jack now. You know, like directional audio and shit.
That's cool.
On like on a Switch, you know, that sounds insane. Kind of praising that being a thing in 2025.
If anyone's ever played Tarkov, like you have to have directional audio.
And, you know, if you're playing,
where's shit coming from?
If you're playing a PlayStation or you're playing a PC, that's a no-brainer that things have that. But when I first got the Switch 2 and I was playing Mario Kart and I could hear somebody coming up on my right, it was like mind-blowing. And I'm like, why is this mind-blowing? Like, it's been happening forever. But it's like because it's old. Because it's Nintendo. And I can hear directional audio on Mario Kart or whatever game you're playing. It just seemed crazier at that point.
So you got your video games on. I know you come from a family of music, and you mentioned earlier about, you know, stepping away from music, going to the line. Like, do you still hold on to that music? Music is huge to me.
Yeah.
Always has been. Played multiple instruments. I conducted. I love music. That's what keeps me going throughout the day.
Yeah.
You know, someone who came from a music family, though, you still into it? Or, like, where are you at with that?
I'm not where I want to be with it. And by that, I mean, like, I want to be in a place where I have the kind of time that I can pull out all of my instruments and, like, be able to play them and spend time, like, honestly relearning and get to kind of where I was, maybe not where I was in college. That would take a lot more work than I really have time for. But
remember, we already peaked.
I probably already peaked on that, but at least enough to enjoy myself, you know, and instead of kind of what I went through in college, which was a little bit of burnout with that. UNT is a tough music program.
It really is.
And, you know, I didn't have the kind of capacity to do that. I was always, and I'm not trying to brag, but I was always kind of like the best player in middle school, elementary school, high school. You know, big fish in a little pond type thing.
What was going through my head.
And honestly, I don't think that was necessarily the best for my development, because when I got to college and I had to work to be the best, you either step up to that challenge or you kind of fold. And I did the second, you know, where I just kind of was like, okay, I'm going to be as good as I am. I'm going to do this, and I enjoy it. But
what do you play?
I majored in trombone. At UNT. I started playing that in 6th grade, but before that, my parents started me on the cello when I was 4.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so I've done music. Both of my parents are music teachers. My sister does music. My brother did music for his whole life. So.
Right on.
Yeah, pre-musical family. Which is really cool. You know, I can still talk with my dad, who has a doctorate in music. My mom has her master's degree there.
I love talking about music because I was big into theory and just talking to them when they would come in. I mean, it was one of the coolest conversations I ever had.
Yeah, my favorite stuff to talk about now is like music lit. I'll talk about, you know, Beethoven or Mozart or whoever with my dad, and he's such a music nerd, music history nerd, that he will eat that right up for sure. And we have a good time talking about that still. you know.
But it's funny you bring up, and I think there's a correlation into the industry world in which we work, where it's either you got to step up or you fold. And it's even our rep that we had at 9 for O's. He went to school for opera. He was a vocal major.
No shit.
And it destroyed him going to school for it. And he learned to hate it. He didn't like it whatsoever. And now he's a food rep. And it's like, yeah, he used to run bars and clubs and stuff like that, so he had something to fall back on. But either you step up or you fold and find something different. Mm-hmm. And in this industry that we work in currently, you got to step up. Because it'll eat you alive real quick if you don't stay on top of things.
Yeah.
That's why I love that music, and I think cooking, to me, they're all art forms. Mm-hmm. Some people may disagree, and that's fine, but to me, that's the way I think, and it's, let's be the best at our craft.
Yeah.
In order to do that, we got to learn from others. Mm-hmm. And how much bullshit do we do day in and day out? You know, talking about, what was it? Working in my kitchen and creating these stupid recipes. But you know what? I bet you we're going to take something out of that one day. So
yeah, it's going to be fun.
It'd be crazy to put it on a menu. You know what I'm saying?
Savory dessert.
More salt food truck. It's going to happen.
Someday.
Yeah.
Someday.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh, well, shit. We've been going for about an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, damn.
25 minutes.
But, Greg, this is your time, too. This is your lessons learned throughout the times. What do you got to tell the people out there?
Yeah. Any parting thoughts?
Words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom. I guess I can probably just keep it to just the service industry in general. And, like, the culture, I think, in the industry has shifted to a point where a chef could say something to you, 5-10 years ago, and people wouldn't bat an eye. They say the same thing now, and you got HR down at the restaurant immediately. And I think for the most part, like that is a good thing, right? But there are times where I sit there and I'm like, man, I would not be where I am today and able to deal with things during service, after service with a calm mind if I didn't have to go through the bullshit.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
The bullshit of somebody screaming in your ear, you've got to make this thing perfect. You've got the ticket machine over there.
Screaming at you.
And you're sweating, and there's something to that really, like, it can break you. Yeah. But I think if you can push through that. If
you're too soft, like there is a level of, like, you kind of have to have some thick skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this job sucks sometimes. You're going to cut yourself. You're going to burn yourself.
You're going to get yelled at.
You broke something, and you kept working throughout.
Yeah.
And, I hope that's a testament to you, because that is that old school mentality that some of us are trying to kind of ease the way out of. But like you said, I used to have knife cuts, being like, those are shit, throw it away. It took me 10 years to realize they were just trying to make me better.
Oh,
not in a healthy way, but they made me better. So.
Yeah, no,
I make the 100%. Joke a lot of, cycle of abuse. It works.
Essentially, a lot of it was, I guess, you could consider abuse, but I think that kind of drive, you didn't really have an option to pick whether or not it's what you wanted to do in that moment. Mm-hmm. It's what you wanted to do, where you were going to get whatever consequence that they decided to bring upon you. But and I don't know if, because I wasn't where I'm at now 5 years ago, I wonder if kind of when we were like coming up, if some of the chefs were like, oh, I can't find anybody who wants to do this. I can't find anybody who whatever. I do see people like that, but there's also this caveat to a point where it's like, could they though? Like, I don't push my cooks like that.
Right.
I don't.
Same.
I approach everything from a very like calm perspective. Usually I'll let them fuck up and then talk to them afterwards
and give them the why they fucked up.
Give them the why and like do the whole thing instead of like,
you got to experience those consequences of your actions in order to truly learn.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And I do wonder if like maybe they don't feel the heat. My boss will say sometimes he'll be like,
trial by fire.
Yeah, he'll be like, you got to make them sweat a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's true, and I always try to do that to an extent, keep pushing them. But I never want to be that asshole that's like, you fucking suck, like look at how slow you are, blah blah blah, like screaming in somebody's ear to like move faster, you know.
Right.
But like I learned that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's so.
There's a Bourdain quote that comes to mind where he says, you know, cream rises, excellence rises. You need a little bit of heat under there.
Yeah.
You know, you need that little bit of pressure, that little bit of heat under your ass to, you know, not only get the job done, but to learn.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, and it's a great example of this. Our first Friday night that we were slammed, I was just running outside Expo, and the front of house manager walks back. He's like, they're kind of behind. I'm like, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know, and I'm going to keep calling tickets, and I'm going to keep pushing them because I want to see what they can do.
I'm not going to let them fail.
But they don't.
But I do need them to.
And they need to.
I need them to know what it's like to struggle.
Exactly, because that way, when that shows you who a person really is, and when I watch my cooks perform better when they're that slammed and when they're slow, I'm like, we got a good team.
Perform better under pressure. Yeah. That's a good sign.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm right there with you, Greg.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, man, it was fucking awesome.
More than a pleasure.
Yeah.
I would love to have you back out here for another one if you're ever fucking down.
I'm always down. Just hit me up, and yeah, dude, I will always make time. This was such a blast. I'm very appreciative for you having me on, both of you guys.
So good to see you.
Yeah, no, it's been way too long, but I feel like
we all kind of needed it though.
Yeah.
That's been a really cool thing about this podcast so far is like I've been able to bring people together that haven't seen each other in years, you know, and we're able to connect over these shared experiences, you know.
Trauma bonding.
And I think I think that, you know, we as an industry really need that, you know. We need somebody to like kind of bring us all together and you know, we're, like I mentioned earlier, we're hugely underrepresented, you know. And so I think that's kind of what we're trying to do here, and I appreciate you being a part of that.
Yeah, of course, man. And it's also really cool to see, like, you know, because of that mutual like trauma bonding or whatever, we're able to come together and kind of just chat like no time has passed.
Exactly.
And that's always really cool to see, and be a part of. So yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Dude, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, it's probably been one of my favorite episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Just
I'm excited. I'm excited to edit this down and you know, flesh it out. I'll be sure to let you know when it's due.
Hell yeah, man.
It's gonna be some Wednesday at 10 a.m. somewhere. So.
Yeah, I think now we're just because of my own time restraints as a chef and you know as a hobbyist YouTuber, you know, editing is a lot of work. So we, you know, I think we are going to 2 episodes a month now instead of 4, just to give me more time to focus on both my job and like the shorts, which is right now where we get most of our views.
Right.
You know, and I think by doing that we'll get better content in the end. We're going to experiment with doing some other stuff, which I'm super excited about.
We got some festivals coming up around town that we're going to check out and film on scene. We're coming down to my restaurant using the kitchen. So,
you know, you guys can find us on Instagram, here on YouTube, on Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Please be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, do all the things. It really helps us out a lot.
Not just that, but leave some stories in the comments. Yeah, I mean, we want to hear from everyone.
If you guys got something to say, please tell us. Leave it in the comments. You know, and if you're in the area, you want to be a guest on More Salt, hit us up. I'd love to talk to people and hear more stories and you know, do more stuff like this.
Absolutely.
Find us on any of the platforms
everywhere you
find
can.
your podcasts and you know, do all the things.
And lastly, at the end of the day, we all know what it comes down to. It's always stay salty.
Absolutely. Stay salty, my friends. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, guys.